Hi, my name is Jessie Buck. I'm with Century 21 Jackson Real Estate, and I work with the Sayre Business Association here in downtown Sayre. Today, I'm at Journey Fitness on Desmond Street in Sayre with the owners, and we're going to delve into a little bit of who they are and how running a small business here in Sayre actually is.
Well, thank you, Jessie. Thank you for this opportunity. Hello, Sayre community. I'm Travis Barnes.
And I'm Cyndy Barnes.
Yeah. We own Journey Fitness. We started Journey Fitness in Sayre in 2016. Journey Fitness originally began in 2013. I am a Sayre native.
And I'm from New Hampshire originally.
She's imported.
Thank you again for having us over here to check this place out. If you haven't been here, it's really a gorgeous space that they have here, and I know I've heard from a lot of people they really love the classes and everything you provide. So jumping in, has fitness always been a big part of your life?
So we both have different stories. I'll just share mine. For me, I was a kid growing up in a broken home. I realized early on that fitness, being fit on the outside, made me feel better on the inside. So I was that kid that was taking my friends to work out when we were in high school.
Right.
I was studying for my certification test before I even graduated high school. First fitness job was when I was 19 in 1998. And now, so it's been over 20 years of just being in love with fitness and growing in that career. For Cyndy, I kind of roped her into it so she can tell you that story.
Yeah, so mine's a little different.
Yeah.
I was not into fitness. Then I wound up moving here to Travis's hometown, and he got a job in fitness down at ProCare, and I was working in a deli. I was working at PNC.
Yeah.
And I've always had a love for people. And customer service has always been something that I've prided myself on. I love caring for people. And so Travis said, you need to come down here and be a trainer and work with me. And I was like, no, I'm not a trainer. And he's like, all you got to do is love people, and you do that. He said, we can teach you what you need to know to be a trainer. Like, we'll just study for it. So that's how that happened for me. I started studying to be a trainer, and then went to work as a trainer.
That is the hardest thing to find, is those relational skills that you can't really train. And Cyndy would get people that just shopped at the deli bringing her like flower baskets and things because they appreciated her so much. I'm like, man, I get educated coaches that just aren't this relational.
Right.
Why don't we add the education to how much you love people? And it's worked out really well.
I think that's great, and I think that really translates to a lot, almost anything you do in life, and really as a trainer I could see that. So you've always kind of been, Travis, in the fitness industry, in and around fitness.
Yeah. I had a wayward journey. There's a book about it on Amazon.com, but other than that, it's always been either prior to fitness, and then during fitness, and afterwards. So yeah,
right.
The book is Journey Fitness. So.
It's
a fitness
journey.
Is that
how we got the name?
Yeah,
Journey
yeah.
Fitness?
Well, it's kind of, we wrote the book after we got going because we feel like we want people to share so much with us. In the weigh-in room, it can sometimes be a bit like a counseling session, right? They're kind of sharing their struggles, and we said, well, we need to share our struggle.
Right.
We started Journey Fitness. It's now a franchise. We have locations in Indiana, Florida, but we started Journey Fitness on an unemployment check, living in a FEMA trailer after somebody that had to kind of bounce back from choosing the wrong path in life. And so that was an important thing for us to share. But we called it Journey Fitness not because it was a fitness book, but because we wanted people to know that you could overcome your own adversity and live your dream. And so that was like the whole purpose of the book.
Wow. That's really cool. It makes a lot of sense hearing the whole story behind the name.
Yeah.
And you were working at, you said, Pivot before this, and of course over at PNC. So how was the transition into opening your own franchise?
So when we worked for Pivot, it was called ProCare. And there came a point where the owner of that company kind of had a vision to do it without me. And so Cyndy left with me. And at first we had to start in Elmira because it just wasn't good for a couple of years to have a competitive business in the area.
Right.
Which saddened me, because even though I started my fitness career on the West Coast, this is my hometown. I'm a Sayre native, and so for me, I'm like, wow, it'd be so cool to be able to keep caring for people in our community. And so we started in 2013, and rather than waiting 2 years, we waited 3 years before we started this location. And then it's just so good to be here. It's great to be able to bring something special to my hometown.
I think that the Sayre community is very welcoming and has been since ribbon cutting here, and because it is such a small kind of hometown atmosphere, I love being here. This is the facility that we always work out of. This is our home base right now, even though we have a couple other ones that we have, but it's very welcoming, and I love the people here. They're fantastic.
That's one thing I think we like to pride ourselves on and continue in the Sayre area is this tight-knit community type feel.
Yeah, there's a huge advantage. Often people think of smaller towns because this is the smallest location in our smallest city, compared to Elmira or Corning or whatever. But there's a huge advantage to that, and I think it's often missed. Here, people arrive early just to hang out and talk, and seem a little bit more laid back, where they can spend a little time afterwards and hang out and talk, maybe because they're not worried about that rush hour traffic. There's a lot of advantages to that. So
you really get to connect with members of the community a lot more.
It seems like the connections happen much easier.
Right. So how long has this been Journey Fitness here in Sayre?
Yeah, so it was October. Right around Halloween.
It was Halloween.
Yeah,
in fact,
we had a Halloween workout kickoff.
Yes.
That's right. October 31st, 2016. So we have some members here that are celebrating their 4-year anniversary. We do have great retention in our program, and it's just because it becomes like people's third stop. There's home, there's work, and then there's Journey. And so, we're kind of that third stop for people. Especially now. It's been so good for them to kind of come out of this pandemic.
Speaking of the pandemic, so you're here roughly around 4 years, maybe a little bit more, and then of course COVID-19 hits. And it's been devastating for people all across the country. How do you feel that's affected you folks as business owners here in a small town?
Well, it definitely affected us.
Right.
Our membership dropped probably 60%.
Wow.
And because people are super nervous, even still, we're slowly growing though. I mean, it's getting there. But it was definitely, we were hard hit for sure.
Right.
And just trying to make people feel comfortable, and we had to change our programming. We now don't share equipment. They move in a certain way in the room. We did a bunch of changes and invested in the locations so that people could have touchless things and not have to be working out too close to other people. And so just getting some of our members that used to be here to come back in and see the changes is something that we're still working on and excited about, to make people feel comfortable.
It's been a tough time for gyms and restaurants. I feel that we were both we were both kind of attacked with like a lot of misinformation. Let me just be honest. There was no evidence to say that this place should be shut down more than Walmart should become a pull-up pickup or whatever. But that's what happened, and so now we have to rebuild. It's almost like rebuilding while being given a bad name. That's really challenging for us. We wanted to be open since day one. We think that there's never been a more important time to take care of your health. It's like, think about the comorbidities. 94% of COVID deaths have been with people with, on average, 2.6 comorbidities.
Right.
So those comorbidities include things like obesity, type 2 diabetes, lung problems, heart problems, things such as that. So the things that we do at Journey, our newsletter is always full of this, is people getting off diabetic medication, cholesterol, blood pressure. Our greatest weight loss goes to a man in Ithaca. He lost 200 pounds.
Wow.
We've had a 76-year-old man lose 156 pounds. We had a woman lose 170 pounds. So we conquer obesity. So we're trying to let people know that it's safe to re-engage, and it's even advisable that you should re-engage.
It's really nice to see that, like you said, it is slowly coming back now, and it's good, I think, for the public to know.
Hopefully we can get there. I think we are moving to the other side of things where people that were fearful and needed maybe a vaccine in order to come back out.
Right.
I'm glad we're making that progress.
Yeah. And being business owners here in downtown, how do you see people in the community kind of getting back out there and improving? Do you feel like things are getting back to a little bit more normal?
For sure, in the Sayre community, that was one of the first things that we did. We just started walking around, introducing ourselves, checking on the local businesses. I mean, the flower shop, the restaurants, just kind of going around and telling them we were open, who we were, and just becoming friends with all of our neighbors in the area.
It's really great for us to be able to get out there and meet other businesses that we can help support, because, you know, here we are in my original hometown and our little business, and we've chosen to make this our home base. We live here and we work here, and we're proud to make it successful.
So awesome to hear. Do you guys have anything going on coming up in the future? We kind of talk about things starting to come back to a little bit of normalcy.
Yeah, so we're currently doing the New Year, New You, which is fun. Our Horseheads, Corning, and Sayre locations have teams of 2 that are competing for a $1,000 grand prize in an 8-week challenge, so that's really fun. We've decided that our next program is going to be called Operation Support Local Business, or Save Our City. And what that's going to be is we're actually going to sell a trial membership to our place. People will work out here for a month. They'll buy this trial membership. If they work out 21 times, they get the whole 97 back. But here's how they get it back. They get it back in the form of a gift certificate to one of the businesses that they choose. So we get to kind of conquer 2 things. We get to get people engaged in the fitness that they need so much during these times. The best defense is a good offense, right?
Absolutely.
And hopefully they'll decide they love us so much they want to stick around. That would be great for us. But at the same time, we get to support local business by asking them to re-engage in their fitness. So that's coming up. Actually, it comes out tomorrow, and then we're going to be putting out some information on it. So
that's super exciting. Yeah. Really just showing that tight-knit community. It's really good to see, and such an awesome promotion you guys have coming out here. One thing I'd like to kind of end off with is just for you guys to let people know where they can contact you, get information about you, anything like that out there on the web.
So Journey Fitness Sayre Facebook page. We have journeyfitness333.com. You can go on there and you'll see all the location addresses and phone numbers and workout schedules. As well, you can always email me at travis@journeyfitnesscoaching.com.
Had a great time here today with the owners of Journey Fitness here in downtown Sayre. We will have all of their contact information and social media accounts linked below. Make sure you go check them out and stop in for this new membership deal that they have going on. It sounds like it's going to be really awesome.